So guys, today's video is going to be very simple. I should say, Hall. Today's video is very simple. We're going to be dreaming about HSK9. So, in HSK, there's 9 levels now. They recently changed it from 6 levels to 9 levels. I think it was a couple of years ago, like about 3-4 years ago, they changed it from HSK having 6 levels to HSK having 9 levels. So the highest, let me pour some water. So the highest that you could get before was HSK 6. Now it's HSK 9. And where am I at? I'm at HSK 4. I'm at HSK 4 because I've not put HSK 6 or 7, 8, 9 as mandatory. For the longest time, I've just been self-studying Chinese. Now it's been about 2 years, I'd say, and now I'm starting to make HSK levels be mandatory for me. I don't know why I didn't make it mandatory before. I think I was just, I was honestly, I didn't have a goal to get to a certain HSK level that had to do with school or anything. Because I think at the time, I was just like, I'll self-study it, and I didn't have a deadline for myself, okay? So I knew I wanted to get a high HSK level. Yes, I know I did, but I didn't have a deadline for myself. I was just like, let's self-study it and see how far we go with where we're at, and that caused my progress to be kind of slow, and it caused it to be very, very unregulated, basically, because I didn't have a not, I wouldn't want to say that. I didn't have like a rule for myself that was set like as a permanent rule, because it was always shifting because I was self-studying it. I was always just making it adapt to whether I had time for it or not, even though I was making sure I scheduled Chinese every day, sometimes it just didn't work out. So I'm at HSK 4 now. After I took the HSK for the first time, I was just like, let's do the level where I can test out of my Chinese classes in university. So I did that, passed the HSK 4, passed the HSK intermediate test. So by the standards of graduating, I'm done. I don't have to wait till I'm a senior to then take the test in order to have that criteria complete. I'm done. If I was just sticking with the lowest bar, I'd be fine. I'm done now. But I'm not sticking with the lowest bar. Let's dream about HSK 9. So, if I was at HSK 9, do you know where I would be? I would be so fluent. I'd be so fluent that I'd be better than a Chinese native speaker. Basically, that's what HSK 9 is. HSK 9 is PhD level. HSK 9 is PhD level. That's like in English. If someone was a PhD in English, they'd be better than a native English speaker. And that's crazy. That's almost impossible for a lot of people to become PhD level in a language that's not theirs, or master's or PhD level, blah, blah. The reason it's considered a PhD or a master's or a PhD level of HSK 9, HSK 7 through 9, is because a lot of times if you want to take your master's or PhD, I don't have any plans to do that, but just for a hypothetical, okay? If you were to try and get into a degree that high, they'd want you to have this level of HSK. So if you're doing this just because you want to master the language, of course, that should motivate you, because even if you don't plan on getting a degree, like a master's or a PhD, if you have this level, it can help you in your own pursuits and your own career and all of that. So that's what I'm thinking about. To be honest, do I think it's possible? I absolutely think it's possible. I think almost everything is possible. With enough ambition, with enough hard work, those two, if you have those two, then you can get the third thing that'll make everything possible. And that is the ability. So if I have the ambition and I have the hard work, then I'll have the ability, right? Because I'm putting my hard work into action, and my ambition will fuel that, and then it turns to ability. So it turns to skill. It turns to you actually being capable of doing that thing. So what would that look like? Yeah, so those three things, For HSK9, dang, that's a good 2 years of hard work. Or maybe a little more. I don't know. Could be fast or slow. But I have the ambition. The hard work would be I have to study Chinese every single day. And I'd have to read every single day. I'd have to write every single day. Okay? I'd have to listen every single day. Not less than 30 minutes. I'm in China right now, so I guess, that helps because I'm in that environment. But there's a lot of English speaking in universities too. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have English classes. But anyway, personally, on my own time, I have to make sure I make time for my Chinese. The difficult thing about being a university student is that when you have these extracurriculars, Chinese is it's an extracurricular for me. I'm a computer science student. Chinese is not part of my major. So I have to make time for it. And honestly, after I'm done with my homework for my classes, for my major, like computer science with the math and the software classes, it's very difficult to make time for other things if you let your laziness get in the way, or if you just aren't, if you're not disciplined to that point, it's very difficult to just take on a whole another challenge outside of your already challenging courses. So I have to deal with that. But let's say that the dream could still be possible, which it is. I'd be working hard every day on my Chinese. And this is like not even considering my third language, Tigrinya, but with my Chinese, because it's the main thing. I said it's the main thing, so it's the main thing. So I'm working hard every day for the next year, 2 years on my Chinese on the side. And if I do this, I'm HSK4 now. By next year, I should have HSK5, HSK6. Then after that, 7 or 8. 9, maybe in 2.5 years. Is that too fast? I don't know. I'm just dreaming right now. So I think that it could be possible, and And you know, the setbacks, there will be setbacks, right? Because nothing comes so easily. Nothing comes so easily in life. I know some of the major setbacks. Some of the major setbacks are going to be this. Number one is doom scrolling. Boom. That right there just takes out a bunch of people. Doom scrolling. And have I got that handled? Have I got that handled? I basically have that handled. Yeah. The only reason I'm on TikTok, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is the main thing. Or YouTube, TikTok or YouTube. It's literally because I post content. On my YouTube, I post content. TikTok, I post content. So that's a major setback that could stop, or it could hinder me very, very negatively. Okay. Second setback would be my responsibilities. My main responsibilities, like my university classes, they might get in the way. My own personal projects with programming, my personal pursuits, my other personal pursuits with career. That could be a setback to my Chinese level. Third setback. This is all real time, and I think that's going to make this video more transparent. Third setback would be just not being hardworking, just being lazy, you know? I mean, we people are, now let me speak from my experience. I just, like any other person, sometimes you just get distracted and you don't do the work you're supposed to do. That's a setback. Another setback. Let's actually be real. What if something horrible happens? I don't know. Health-wise, circumstance-wise, what could that be? I mean, hey, all I can do is plan to be healthy. But if I was sick or something, that wouldn't stop me. Let's see. I'm really just imagining. All these scenarios, they don't really stop me from getting to HSK9. They just cause it to be more difficult, which would require me to be more resilient, and it would require me to be smarter. Yeah. It's interesting talking about a goal that will require at the least around 2 or 3 years, but you don't know what the next 2 or 3 years hold. You know, I have all university, I have life, I have interest on my career that would involve so many things, you know, online, offline, me just growing as a person, all of these things. Is HSK9 possible in 2 or 3 years? Is HSK9 possible with all the stuff I have going on? Keep in mind the programming languages, that's like another foreign language too. I believe it's possible. The only way we can tell if it actually is, though, is if I actually do it. So I'm gonna plan on doing it. This video was like a dream session. Dreaming about HSK9. Let's see if it can be done. HSK 7 through 9. I want to be in that tier. That's way above average. That's like elite. I want to be elite. Let's see if I get to elite. Okay? 好，我们明天见。